and then actually what happened after that, like what they have to say. It just keeps it really organized so I can go back and say, what did they say? Or what was my homework? Or, should I follow through with this and this and this?
Yeah.
Helps a lot because then everything's not everywhere. Then actually what happened.
Okay, we are live. Welcome everyone to the Cosmic Starseed Academy. Today is the Wednesday groups, and it's the 11th of March 2026, and it's 8:11 p.m. here in Ireland. Welcome everyone. We are live streaming on YouTube, and I am Soma Ara. And my website is somaara.love. We're joined this evening by Nancy and Sheila. I never like to read out the surnames, but they're normally on the screen anyway. But so this evening, this is the Wednesday group, the Ascension Starseed Bootcamp. So I thought I would kind of start us off by talking about some of our experiences, because Nancy was talking earlier about some of her abduction experiences that I found really interesting, and I wanted to know more. So I thought maybe I would include that into this evening. And so do you want to start, Nancy, or Sheila, or do you want me to start?
I could start. I just, what I had shared with you was a new thing that I didn't realize was an experience for me, because of a dream that I thought I had. And so when I addressed it with a friend of mine who does cranial, sacral, and Reiki, and she talks to me about my past life experiences, and she addresses that, which has been so helpful in the past 30 years. She said I was abducted when I was in my teens, because I resonate with the word starseed with different people I've been following. And I just feel more connected and seen for the first time really in my life, because I've always been the black sheep and a weirdo in my family.
Oh, Nancy.
You know what I mean? I do feel that my family always looks at me like so odd when I start talking about stuff. So I thought that what she had to say about me, they were checking in on me, is all she said, which I thought was fascinating. And I listened to Bashar, Daryl Anka, and he was talking to a woman in a group situation, and he had said she will never be lost because she's always connected by the silver cord that connects her to earth. And I burst into tears. And I'm like, what is going on? Why would I react that way? So that's those two situations had me question about being off world or being abducted or being something that I never had experience with before. So that's in the past 24 hours. Yeah. I mean, I've heard it from so many other people, but never from me. And that's pretty cool. So I'm happy with that. Makes sense.
And do you know, a lot of the time, like, I mean, not so much nowadays, but in the past, we've generally hidden our experiences or kept them to ourselves and not talked about them, especially with abduction experiences. It's something that we've kind of kept a secret, to ourselves. And there's more and more people now coming out to share their stories and experiences with abduction, whether they're with the positive or negative ETs. And especially with the disclosure movement and the whole UFO experiences. And what one of my so I would also be a UFO abductee, contactee, and experiencer, and as well as a starseed and the healer and shamanic and Reiki and psychic and medium and blah blah blah. But it's really that there's so many labels. But to me, it's really the main category is starseed, and then you've got all these aspects, labels that come under the umbrella of that. So as starseeds, I see that I believe I know that or believe that we've come in from a higher dimension, a higher awareness, whether it's the Pleiadian starseed, which I've had experiences of during ayahuasca, where I was in a past life, I lived on the Pleiadian star system, and I chose to come in this time, like thousands of others, to help assist humanity. And it's really there's the whole past life stuff there comes in as well, because there's a remembrance, there's a waking up of and connecting to souls that we've known before, whether it's on Earth or a different star system. We've definitely are remembering people that we've known before, and all of that is happening more and more and more because the consciousness of humanity is raising. We're able to be more expansive in our energy fields, which includes the psychic and the medium and all of the esoteric abilities. So, Sheila, have you had any abduction experiences? And I also want to add, really importantly, that I was at a psychic fair years ago, and I met a woman that was a friend for a while, and I felt a strong connection to her, a strong resonance with her, and she was lovely. And she was telling me a story of how when she was a child, she was in a field somewhere in Ireland, and she was rural Ireland, and she was in a field somewhere. I think it was during the day, or maybe it was at night, but she said she saw this light in the sky, and it was a UFO craft, and it started to follow her, and she was communicating with it telepathically. And when she was telling me this story, I was given a download of information that is very specific when people have those experiences of meeting, of seeing craft, of experiencing craft. And the message I got was that when that happens, especially as a child, it's because they are wanting to and connecting to us to help us remember that we have had a past life with them, and that is why they're showing up for us. So I just wanted to add that, because I feel that help, I feel that will help a lot of people. And for those listening now and in the future, if you've ever had a UFO experience, it's because you have a past life connection to them, and you're probably not from Earth, you're probably from somewhere else, whether it's the Pleiades or Lyrans or Syrians or wherever. And we're normally a combination of different ones. And so anyway, Sheila, over to you. Have you had any abduction experiences or experiences with UFO craft?
I'm afraid I haven't, no. So I'm happy to listen to what you've got to say, but I haven't got anything to add on that because I haven't experienced anything like that I'm
Okay,
aware of. Maybe I haven't been aware.
that surprises me. I think you probably have um because of your energy.
Yes. I think I'm a little bit hesitant to say too much on here as it's being live streamed, so I prefer just to listen. Thank you.
Okay, Sheila. Okay. So um I have to say I love doing these lives. I'm really kind of I think you said that to me as well, Nancy, before that you really enjoyed yeah, I'm really enjoying it, really enjoying it. So I'll be doing more of these, most definitely. I'm working on my website at the moment, and it's it's taken up a lot of my time, a lot of my energy, and I'm almost done with it. But once I'm done with it, I have to move on to the next thing, which is also, a lot of work. So, so that's why I kind of haven't been as um, on board with doing my online stuff because I've kind of been working on my website and doing a lot of the background stuff. Um, so let me see. I'm just checking the chat here. So we've got Killen and Yuzal in the YouTube chat. And Yuzal says, yes, can't talk about things in family settings, most definitely. And Yuzal has seen 3 UFOs. Um, so yeah, and so everything I just said also goes for you as well, Yuzal. Um, so let me see. Where do we want to go with this? Is there anything you guys would like to cover this evening or for me to talk about this evening?
I've always wondered, like, with the DNA aspect of all of this, if we're star seeds and we're from hundreds of thousands of light years away originally, and like, how does that impact that DNA structure? Like, does the very original connection, like if it was, say, an off-world man and a earthly mom, like, that created a child, and then the next lifetime and the next lifetime and hundreds of thousands of lifetimes until we are here in this moment, and so we are a combination of that original DNA plus our parents. Like, I know I'm Irish and German, in this world, in this lifetime, you know what I mean? And then, like, how does, I just don't understand the connection
I
with it.
hear
Does it stay in the
you.
DNA? Like, how does that work? You know what I mean?
I do. I absolutely know exactly what you mean. Um, I guess if I'm trying to articulate it, I guess what you're asking, because I find that difficult to put into words myself, but I
Yeah.
guess what you're asking, and I've struggled putting what you're trying to describe into words and articulate it, but I think what I'm going to try and articulate it. So what you're asking is, how does the past life DNA, um, how does it filter through into this? How do we, how are we able to access it, or how is it possible that past life DNA is in us now. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
So
the original procreation has to do with our present moment, or it wouldn't be star seeds. Like, 100 years from now, my kids, is in there too, like a soup. So, but does the original procreation is still in our DNA from hundreds of light years ago, right?
yes, it is. The
That's
way
crazy.
I'm very visual, so I often get downloads in images, and there's an image coming to mind of, as you're speaking, Nancy, of our auric field, which has different layers, more than we even are aware of, more than we know of, and myself included. And it's our auric field is more expansive than we realize. And in one of our outer layers, it would, so each layer is separate, but they're all connected. They can't not be all connected because the colors bleed into each other. But on one of the outer layers, there is let's call it a cosmic auric field. A cosmic auric field. So if you imagine the aura is a protective energy or electromagnetic energy field around us, in the shape of an egg or an oval shape, and each layer has a different color, but they all bleed into one, and each layer has a different purpose, a different ability, a different reason, a different meaning, a different a different purpose, a different use. And one of these layers is a cosmic layer. So it includes our DNA, it includes our past life memories, and they may be different layers, but let's say, for example, that they're the same layer, but they bleed into separate layers. So this DNA remembrance is in our auric field, but it's also in our consciousness, because our consciousness is part of the auric field, or the auric field is part of our consciousness, it's part of our makeup. And the other thing that's I don't know if that covers it, but the other thing that's coming to mind is Jesus and his earth mother and his Pleiadian father, in my understanding. That's at least that's what I've been shown anyway. So his Christ consciousness is part of what's coming back to the earth now, or reawakening. I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself very well.
Yeah, I understand.
And then there's also a stream of energy. I kind of see it above us sometimes, like a stream of, like a milky white color. That's what it looks like to me. And within that is is the Akashic Records, is an energy field that contains everything. Is Greg Braden is a very good person to listen to when he talks about it. I'm not sure what he calls it, but it's a stream of information. I think it was also in the film the documentary, What the Bleep Do We Know?
Mm-hmm. I have that video or DVD.
Yeah, that was a great movie. I really recommend everyone go and watch that. Um, there was great scientists in it that really kind of explained a lot of the um, what they called woo-woo stuff in the movie.
Well, everything's energy. Like when I was in massage school, we all read this book that, of course, they said it wasn't true so that the author wouldn't get axed. But I'm trying to think of what the name of the book was, but it was fascinating. And it taught me to bless my food, give it energy, and then eat it. And then it was way more beneficial for your body because you had infused it with energy, So I thought that was cool.
Yeah, there's been such a huge movement to undermine energy and psychic abilities and mediumship and spirit and UFOs, and there's been a real movement to squash anything that is outside the narrative of what and this I believe comes from the CIA and their agenda to keep humanity's consciousness dumbed down and squashed and kind of very restricted. And I think we're breaking out of that now. We're breaking out of the restrictions of what society says is normal. And, the children are meant to be quiet and not speak about ghosts or nature spirits or anything that is not visible to the normal human eye. There's been such a big, I don't even know what the word is, program or agenda to squash our intuition abilities, psychic awareness, and yet they they do a huge amount of training for their own operatives, their own agents to do with all of that in a very advanced way. They teach people how to remote view, which is exceptionally useful when you're a spy. They have whole programs around teaching agents how to all of the esoteric subjects. Welcome, Emily. How are you? We are live on YouTube.
I see that. That did surprise me. I was trying to come in with my video off anyway, but that didn't work out.
What's the matter, Em? You scared?
Yeah, I don't think people need to see me in my hospital bed.
It's good to hear your voice.
That's not very uplifting.
Yeah, well, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you. I had a little, it was tricky signing in first, but not because of the sign-in process, but because of the hospital Wi-Fi system and all that.
Are you still there, Emily?
Yes, I'm having second surgery day after tomorrow.
Wow.
It was going to be tomorrow, but the doctor couldn't schedule it, so he couldn't fit it in his schedule, so it's on Friday, where they will take off the external fixator and put in screws and plates, and then the real healing will begin, because only then will the ankle bones be aligned properly. There was too much inflammation on Saturday to do everything, to do all that intricate work at the first surgery.
Yeah.
Wow. Goodness.
I know.
That's some some journey you're on there.
No
Yeah.
kidding. I don't know, there are things I'd like to say, but not on YouTube. I'm really surprised, actually, if I can be honest, that you're doing this one on YouTube, because this is supposed to be for your paid subscribers, and the people on YouTube uh, don't qualify as your paid subscribers if they're just tuning in live, right? What's the thinking?
Yeah, that was something I did ask the group, and everyone was okay with it. Are you okay with it?
Well, I thought, again, this is supposed to be a session that's for paid subscribers, not for the whole wide world. I mean, I'll be okay with it for today, but I don't know. I don't know that. Then you'll have to open it up to like everybody who follows you instead of just paid subscribers, I think, to be fair.
I hear what you're saying, but I was just so excited to get onto YouTube,
Yeah,
because
I
it
can
really
tell.
lights me up, sparks me up, and I felt like I needed some of that tonight. I needed some. I've been so weighed down by doing my website, and um,
Mhm.
I needed kind of an upliftment. So
I don't know,
I
maybe
hope
just,
that's okay.
well, I mean, it's okay for today, but maybe you need to rethink the whole parameter around this particular Wednesday event that you host. I don't know the reason you wanted it to be just for paid subscribers, so that would be part of your decision making. It would seem like it was more like of an event focused for people that were a little more serious, I guess, about the ascension, or developing certain skills. I know you were kind of talking about that, about the skills are being blocked. Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I won't take the Wednesday group onto the YouTube, even though next time. So even though we're on YouTube this evening,
Right.
because you're right. I just kind of wanted to give myself a boost.
Right. Well,
Um,
I mean, you had a reason for specifying that for these particular groups, and so I don't imagine that reason has changed, but I understand why you want to do it for tonight. That's so that's fine. That's fine. I'm all about uplifting Soma, definitely. It's hard. It's a hard life. It's a hard world sometimes. I think I'm just talking about, I don't know, it's more of a matter of consistency, not a matter of depriving you of what you need. Are you okay?
yeah, I'm okay. I might take a pause it for a minute. Uh, let me see. How do I do that? I don't know how to do that. Um, Goodness me. Um, well, you know, I guess you can't please all the people all the time.
I'm not, uh, I'm not unpleased, if that's what you mean.
Okay. I can't figure out how to stop the recording.
If it's live, right?
It's live, yeah. But I can't figure out how to um
I
goodness.
do see it. I see a record button that if you push on that, what happens?
That's very
You know?
strange. So we're live, but we're not recording. So I actually forgot to record it to,
Ah,
yeah, that's silly.
Well, that may be a blessing in disguise.
Yes, it could be. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, my phone is blinking something with the battery, so I'm not sure. I mean, I'm on 70%, but I got a lot of stuff on my phone, so I don't know. I'm just warning you ahead of time. You might lose me, but I'll try to find you
Okay.
if it does happen.
Okay. And welcome, Emira.
Thank you. Thank you. I could only be on a few minutes because I have something I gotta do at 5, but sorry if I missed anything. And I saw 6 Subarus today. Every day the car, every day I see at least 4 or 5 of them.
And what does
What's
that
the
tell you?
significance? Yeah, what is that significance?
Subaru is Pleiades in Japanese, and it's the Subaru cars, and they have the Pleiades symbol on their
Oh,
the symbol.
interesting name. I
Subaru
didn't.
is Pleiades in Japanese, and if you look at the logo, it's the Pleiades star system. That's why I'm saying. Okay.
That's
Wow, I
cool.
never knew that. It's a very
Me
popular
neither.
car, though. You're bound to see a lot of them,
Yeah,
especially in a snowy zone because it has the best rating for driving in the snow.
I had one. I didn't love it.
Or Volvo has the best rating. I don't know. You had one you didn't love it? Yeah.
I have a Toyota now. I love it. A RAV4. I love my favorite car. Yeah.
So what are we working on today, Soma?
Well, I was going to do. Actually, I have a question for you, Emily, and also Amira. So we were talking earlier about abduction, and one of my questions for the group was, um, have you had any abduction experiences or experience with UFO craft? Um, so maybe we can start with you, Emily.
Yeah, I don't know that I've been abducted. I don't have any sense that I've been abducted, but I do see unusual craft around my neighborhood all the time. Things that don't make sense to me. Um, I've been explaining those to you on a couple of these Zoom sessions. Um, they're more present in the sky than the stars are, and I'm still not seeing the normal constellations that that I would that I grew up seeing. Um, but I do see, these craft that it's very interesting. They're like, so they'll have one red light blinking on one side and a white light blinking on the other side, and they'll be stationary for a long time, and then they'll just kind of zoom to another location and they'll be stationary for a while. And I mean, I suppose they could be satellites, but I used to watch in the sky for satellites, and they move more constantly through the sky than what I've been seeing around me. And I posted something on the Saturday Sunday group Facebook Messenger page. Um, it looked like a planetary orb. Did you see it? Um,
No, I didn't see that yet.
it looked like a round planet, and it was sparkling with all kinds of lights. Did anybody else check that out? The woman posting it said she could see two of them in the sky, but
Oh yeah,
the
I know
video was
that
only
lady
of
you
one
mean.
of them. Say what?
I know that lady you mean. I forget her name.
Okay. Well, it's there for you to check out later, Soma.
Thanks, Emily.
Yeah, it's very beautiful looking. Anyway, so that's all I have to report. I don't know that UFOs come up in our area very often where I am when I'm outside. I confess I haven't been outside all that much in my recent years, so not much of an answer.
Yeah, I want to spend more time outside. I think if you're outside like 15, 20 minutes and you're open your heart, and then you call them in eventually you're out there every night, I think they will show up.
Yeah,
but
that's a very
I
good
haven't
point,
tried that
Nancy.
experiment.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, you have to try it. It's amazing, when to watch them. And so have you had any abduction experiences, Emily?
Well, that was the first thing I said is I'm not cognizant of any abduction experiences. I've just, just the two attacks where I was told after the attacks that it could have been an attempted abduction.
Okay.
The attacks from last year. Hang
Yes.
on one second, please.
And Amira, while we're waiting on Emily, have you had any abduction experiences or experiences with craft? I'm pretty sure I remember you saying that you have.
Well, I know of in astro form I did. Now, this last Friday and last Sunday, and I put it on TikTok, I saw a craft. The way it was moving, and people are trying to debunk it, saying, it's not a ship, a satellite or SpaceX. No, it's not. It's not a satellite. It's not a SpaceX. It's not a drone. It's not a drone. I saw what I saw. Um, and then other times I've been, what is it? The drones, I know it's not a drone. Like I said, when I was 6 years old, I remember being lifted above my body and there was three orbs going around me. And then my experience, I said, was the first conscious memory of meeting non-human looking beings in astro. But even last night, I had a dream that I saw an orb, a ship, way out in the distance. And so I can't say whether I've been abducted or contacted, or I just know in dream states I dream I see ships and beings. I've had experiences my whole life, and now I think they're starting to show up more physical. So I do believe that I actually saw two different crafts, but they look almost the same. Way out in the distance. These last Friday and Sunday, and I've seen like a silver bead looking one years ago way out. So I don't know the dreams I have, the experience, and what I'm seeing. I'd like to know if how do you find out if you were brought onto a ship or something? And so I that's my experience.
That's a good question. I mean, if you've been abducted, are you necessarily conscious of it?
Not always, no. I think, um, well, actually, that's a great question, Emily, because the last couple of nights, in fact, for about the last week, I've been taken out of my body. Um, but I haven't, normally I remember when that happens, but the last week that's been happening a lot, almost every night. And I haven't been remembering what's been happening. But I had one of my first abduction experiences I had years ago in Galway. I think it was 2009. Yeah, around 2009 or 8 or 10. And it was the first one that I really consciously remembered. And I was taken up on board um, a UFO craft, and it was the Greys. And it was a pretty horrendous experience. I wrote about it in detail in my book, The Pleiadian Child. Um, so I was taken up on board and I was fully awake. Um, I woke up on board and I was on this kind of table that was very cold and was very well lit. Everything was well lit, very light. And I remember it I don't know how I remember the craft being circular, but I do. And then on my left or my right, there were there were two grey beings on I think it was my left, and then there was one on my right. And I can still see them as I'm describing it. And they were talking to me telepathically, and they were saying it's going to be okay. Um, but I could hear horrendous screaming from other human beings that were also, I wasn't alone in the room. There were people screaming in agony. And I remember a woman screaming, and there was also a man, and they were just screaming in agony. And they were doing these experiments on us. And they were talking to me, and I'm just kind of, briefly explaining it. But they were doing these experiments, and then I tried to get back into my body, and I couldn't. And I'm good at, I'm good at leaving my body and getting back in, and I've been doing that since I was a child, since I was 8, that I've been aware of. So I'm very experienced in that, and yet I couldn't get back into my body, and that for me, in that within the experience was very concerning. There was like a block of energy where I couldn't get back into my body that had been put there deliberately. And then I was so grateful to wake up in the morning and actually be back in my body, but the whole experience was pretty horrific. And so that was one of my first abduction experiences. And I know there's very similar stories out there, or people sharing their own similar experiences.
Why do you suppose you're exposed to such an unsettling experience with the Pleiadians?
Oh, that wasn't the Pleiadians. That was the
I thought it
Greys.
was. Oh, that was the Greys. Oh,
No,
you
the
did say the Greys.
Pleiadians would never do
No.
anything like that. They're a very different energy, very different consciousness, a different awareness. No, that was the Greys.
Sorry, I do remember you saying that. Yeah.
Okay.
As you were describing that, I wanted to just mention this week I had 2 dreams. I don't know if they were on 2 separate nights or what, because I wake up frequently, but I dreamt I was walking normally in heels. I'm not supposed to be bearing any weight on my left foot right now, but in the dream I was walking normally, and after many, many steps, I realized, oh my God, I'm not supposed to be walking on this leg, and I didn't know if that was some suggestion to think of myself on a parallel timeline. I don't know. It was just shocking, it's very difficult to navigate between this reality I'm in and the ones that presented another option, I guess. I don't know how to talk about it. It freaked me out. I don't know. What do you have to say about dreams like that?
I think that dream would have been about a very healing for you, and I see it as being a time in the future where your ankle has healed and you're moving forward, and also a sense of relief and pain-free, and I would take from it that things are going to be okay and you will heal.
Yeah, I can see that interpretation. I mean, there was a sensation of a positive outcome in that dream. So, thank you for concurring. It was like riding the fence, between 2 different realities. It was interesting. Questioning, well, which is it? Should I be walking normally, or should I be not bearing any weight on this leg? It's the same leg. It was clear it was the same leg. Clear it was the same lifetime. It wasn't. It wasn't. There was no ambiguity about that. It was. Oh yeah, it must be about future healing. Thank you so much.
Dolores Cannon says that while we're sleeping, we're off doing stuff. We're not just laying there. And so for me, I was like asking Archangel Michael to help me remember what I did last night. So, well, these 3 times over in the past month, I would say I woke up in a different, I remember a different timeline because like my sister, I would never allow my sister to drive my car. And in this dream, whatever I remember, my sister was driving my car. And so I just remember an alternate lifetime. So we're all doing everything at the same time. And I just thought it was fascinating that I was there and while I was asleep. So I wasn't afraid. It was just different.
It's pretty special when stuff like that happens, and,
Yeah,
and it
kind
it
of
makes us more aware, of different timelines and dimensions and premonitions as well.
Mhm.
And I think we're on such a huge precipice of ascension right now. And it can often feel overwhelming with the energies and everything that's going on and the experiences and timelines and other dimensions and UFOs and Pleiadians and craft and like there's a lot to process. And we really need to be easy on ourselves and kind to ourselves and stop being and I'm particularly bad at this, but stop being so hard on ourselves. I'm very hard on myself and very or I can be, I've been kind of working till I drop lately. Um but we just need to slow down and breathe. The world has changed so much, so dramatically since 2019, 2020, 2018, I would say, that we just need to give ourselves a break and really take ourselves off to nature. And that I definitely need that myself. And I think Nancy was picking up on it earlier. As well. But I definitely need to do that to myself. For myself is to take myself off into nature and spend some time with nature and trees. And that's come up a lot lately for me, probably because I'm working crazy working. Um, and I haven't been allowing myself to give myself the time. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know that a lot of us are really need to give ourselves more time and I think it's wonderful, Emily, what's happened to your foot because it's given you time and space to. It's cathartic, I know, but it's given you the time to rest up, um, slow down, and to be in stillness.
Well, that's true. I'm trying to keep the room quiet to promote more healing. So I'm not turning on the TV. I'm not really turning on the computer much either, just to communicate with people and do some reading. Anyway, thank you, Soma, for pointing out the bright side. It's
Yeah, we're
very,
taking in,
sorry, Nancy?
I'm just saying we're taking in so much information these days.
Yeah, we are. I was just going to say that the break in the fibula is it's just like a clean edge, like something sliced right through it.
Mm,
Just so bizarre. I don't know how bones normally break, but um, I guess one thing I wondered is about laser weapons,
mm.
and I'm putting that out there, Soma, for you to feel around about in case we get more clarity when we talk about it. We were going to schedule some time.
Yeah. Yeah. Did did we schedule in something already, or
We
did we
didn't.
not?
You were gonna take a look, so I'm still just waiting for you to find time to
Okay,
take a look.
let me take a
Yeah.
note of that. I'll probably, if I don't get back to you this evening about that, I'll probably be tomorrow.
Yeah, take your time.
Okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it a night. It's 9:01 here. It does feel like I'm cutting the evening short, but so forgive me. And I probably won't record. I probably won't go for the Wednesday group. I won't go take us live again on YouTube, but all the others I will. So look forward to seeing you on Saturday, where will be a longer session.
Thank you. I have to go to.
I have
Talk to
to
you
too,
soon.
so
I am.
it's fine.
Bye. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye, guys. See you Saturday. So we'll be
See you
chatting.
Saturday. Bye.
Bye
Okay.
bye.
I'm not sure I'll
Bye,
be here
guys.
Saturday, but I'll be thinking of you all.
Oh, you won't be
Oh,
here, Emily?
Well, I don't know. My surgery is the day before, so it just depends what
I'm
kind of
sorry that
condition
you're
I'm in.
going through surgery.
Thank
Oh,
you,
honey, I'm
Amira.
sorry.
It's all right.
Yeah,
Thank you. It's all for the best. I need
good.
it. I
Well,
mean, I wouldn't heal properly without it, so there's no other way
yeah.
that I know of. Yeah.
Oh, and I want to be outside. I hate being cooped up in a building. Ugh.
Hmm.
Okay,
Anyway,
take
so
care,
I don't
guys.
know if I'll. Bye,
Oh,
Amira.
bye.
Bye, guys. And
Bye, Soma.
if you would like to join us on Saturday or Sunday, the link is on my website, somaarad.love, Cosmic Starseed Academy page. So you're welcome to come and join us. And I'll see everyone very soon. Lots of love and bye for now.